One of y'all jinxed me. One of y'all talked about hiccuping, like if I rather hiccup or um one of y'all talked about if I rather hiccup for a certain amount of time straight or be tickled for an hour. And I said I would never want to have hiccups. And hold on a sec. Oh my god, I have hiccups, guys. Who did this to me? Who did this to me? I can't stop. One of you guys jinxed me. Who jinxed me? Who was it? Because I literally can't stop. I can't stop. I forgot that I didn't read my Bible yet, so we're gonna do that, but we're gonna do 10 minutes. But one of you guys jinxed me. Oh my god. How do I stop? Oh my god. This is like the worst. I hate this. Literally anything else over having the hiccups. Anything else over having the hiccups. I haven't had these in years. Okay, years. And someone mentioned it today, and now all of a sudden I got hiccups. Oh my god. They won't stop. I can't make it stop. I can't make it stop. How do I make it stop? Guys, someone make it stop. Make it stop. Make it stop. Oh my god. Alright, ready? I really thought I had it. I really thought I had it. I need someone to make these hiccups stop, please. Water. I'm trying to make the hiccups stop. I don't know how. Am I happy? I'm trying to be. Oh my god. I don't know how to stop this. This is crazy. This is crazy. Yes, I have a case of the hiccups. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, guys. I don't know how to stop. I don't like this. Alright. Hold my breath. We're gonna try holding my breath. We're gonna try holding my breath. Hold on. Oh my god. They just started. I was about to read the Bible for 10 minutes. Oh my god, I can't. I don't know what to do. I literally haven't had these since I was a kid, but they were the worst when I was a kid. They were so bad. And someone literally talked about this on stream earlier, and I said I wouldn't. The only thing I don't want is hiccups. And now, after years of not having hiccups, here we go. Here we here we go. Someone was a witch. Someone was in the live stream, and they cursed me. I know you said you were depressed. Can you talk about that? I'm trying not to be depressed. I mean, I wouldn't say I was depressed. I was extremely sad. This just doesn't want to stop. I was extremely sad. Extremely sad. But, yeah. I am working through it, and I'm trying to be better, and oh my god, hopefully we're better. I can't stop. I can't stop. Hold on. Fuck! Why won't it stop? Please, 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 please. Tell me it stopped. Guys, tell me it stopped. Tell me it stopped. Did it stop? I think we're good. I think we're good. I think we're good, guys. I think we're good. I think we're good. I think we're good. I think we're good. Oh my god. Oh my god. Is it good? I think we're good. I swear if it starts again, I'm gonna freak out. That was a minute. I held it for a minute. It was a good little practice right there. All right, we're gonna read the Bible again. If you do not want to be here to listen to this, you really don't have to. I know that this is not everybody's cup of tea. I'm just trying to learn about this. I'm trying to read and learn about religion, and I don't know anything about it. I've always had a relationship with God, but I've never read about religion. So we're gonna read for 10 minutes, and if you'd like to stick in the chat in the live and listen, you may do so. If you don't want to, you don't have to. I'm not trying to put this on anyone. I just don't know enough information, and I want to learn information. So let's learn together if you want to learn. We are on Genesis 12:7 on page 14. So yeah, I think my hiccup stopped, by the way, so that's good. We held it for exactly 1 minute. Let's go. Abram in Egypt. Now there was a famine in the land, and Abram went down to Egypt to live there for a while because the famine was severe. As he was about to enter Egypt, he said to his wife Sarai, I know what a beautiful woman you are. Oh, we already read this part. Hold on. We read this part. We are on this page. That's my fault, guys. My fault. Abram rescues Lot. At the time when Amraphel was king of Shinar, Arak, king of Elasar, Kedorlaomer, king of Elam, and Tidal, king of Goyim. These kings went to war against Bera, king of Sodom, Birsha, king of Gomar, Go- Gomra, Shinab, king of Adma, Shember, Shember, king of Zeboim, and the king of Bela, that is Zor. All these all these latter kings joined forces in the valley of Siddim, that is the Dead Sea Valley. For 12 years they had been subject to Kedor Lamer, but in the 13th year they rebelled. In the 14th year, this name is so hard, guys. Kedor Lamer and the kings allied with him and the kings allied with him went out and defeated the Raphites in Ashtaroth, Karnam, Karnaim. I'm so bad with the names. The names are hard. The Zuzites in Ham, and the Emites in Shaveh, Kiriathim, and the Horites in the hill country of Seir, as far as El Paran near the desert. Then they turned back and went to En Mishpat, that is Kadesh, and they conquered the whole territory of the Amalekites, as well as the Amorites, who were living in Hazezon Tamar. Then the king of Sodom, the king of Gomorrah, the king of Admah, the king of Zeboim, and the king of Bela, that is Zor, marched out and drew up their battle lines in the valley of Siddim against Kedor Lamer, king of Elam, Tidal, king of Goyim, Amraphel, king of Shinar, and Arak, king of Elasar. 4 kings against 5. Now the valley of Siddim was full of tar pits, and when the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fled, some of the men fell into them, and the rest fled to the hills. The 4 kings seized all the goods of Sodom and Gomorrah and all their food. Then they went away. They also carried off Abram's nephew Lot and his possessions, since he was living in Sodom. A man who had escaped came and reported this to Abram, the Hebrew. Now Abram was living near the great trees of Mamre. The Amorite, a brother of Eshcol, and Aner, all of whom were allied with Abram. When Abram heard that his relative had been taken captive, he called out the 318 trained men born in his household and went in pursuit as far as Dan. During the night, Abram divided his men to attack them, and he routed them, pursuing them as far as Hobah, north of Damascus. He recovered all the goods and brought back his relative Lot and his possessions, together with the women and the other people. After Abram returned from defeating Kedar Lamar and the kings allied with him, the king of Sodom came out to meet him in the valley of Shaveh. That is the king's valley. There's a lot of challenging names in this, but we're trying our best. Sodom. Shaveh. I'm getting pronunciation help on Twitch, guys. In case you're wondering, I'm getting we got Ubadi in the chat, and he knows a lot about this. So, yeah, we're trying our best to get it all right. You're not active on Instagram. I am going to be more active on Insta. I've just been moving, so it's been hard. But I am going to be more active on Insta. Don't worry. Thank you, Ubadi. Thank you. All right, we're going to keep going. Then Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought out bread and wine. He was priest of God Most High, and he blessed Abram, saying, Blessed be Abram by God Most High, creator of heaven and earth, and praise be to God Most High, who delivered your enemies into your hand. Can I ask a question? Ubudi, you probably can answer this. What is there a difference between God and Lord? Like when they say Lord and now they're saying like God Most High, is that the same or different? No difference. Okay, no difference. How do you say the name? Melchiz Melchizedek. 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 Which book? Right now I'm in Genesis. Damascus. Okay. All right. Then Abram gave him a tenth of everything. The king of how do you say it again? Sodom. The king of Sodom said to Abram, "Give me the people and keep the goods for yourself." But Abram said to the king of Sodom, "With raised hand I have sworn an oath to the Lord God Most High, Creator of heaven and earth, Creator of heaven and earth, that I will accept nothing belonging to you, not even a thread or the strap of a sandal, so that you will never be able to say, I made Abram rich. I will accept nothing but what my men have eaten and the share that belongs to the men who went with me. To Aner, Eshcol, and Mamre, let them have their share." The Lord's covenant with Abram. After this, the word of the Lord came to Abram in a vision. "Do not be afraid, Abram. I am your shield, your very great reward." But Abram said, "Sovereign Lord, what can you give me since I remain childless, and the one who will inherit my estate is Eliezer of Damascus? And Abram said, "You have given me no children, so a servant in my household will be my heir." Then the word of the Lord came to him, "This man will not be your heir, but a son who is your own flesh and blood will be your heir." He took him outside and said, "Look up at the sky and count the stars, if indeed you can count them." Then he said to him, "So shall your offspring be." Abram believed the Lord, and he credited it to him as righteousness. He also said to him, "I am the Lord who brought you out of is it Ur or out of of the Chaldeans, to give you this land to take possession of it." But Abram said, "Sovereign Lord, how can I know that I will gain possession of it?" So the Lord said to him, "Bring me a heifer, a goat, and a ram, each 3 years old, along with a dove and a young pigeon." Abram brought all of these to him, cut them into, and arranged the halves opposite each other. He cut the things in half? Okay, Wait, he cut the animals in half? The birds, however, he did not cut in half. Then birds of prey came down on the carcasses, but Abram drove them away. As the sun was setting, Abram fell into the deep sleep, and thick and dreadful darkness came over him. Then the Lord said to him, "Know for certain that for 400 years your descendants will be strangers in a country not their own, and that they will be enslaved and mistreated there. But I will punish the nation they serve as slaves, and afterward they will come out with great possessions. You, however, will go to your ancestors in peace and be buried at a good old age. In the 4th generation, your descendants will come back here, for the sin of the Amorites has not yet reached its full measure." When the sun had set and darkness had fallen, a smoking fire pot with a blazing torch appeared and passed between the pieces. On that day the Lord made a covenant with Abram and said, "To your descendants I give this land, from the Wadi of Egypt to the great river, the Euphrates, the land of Kenites, Kenizzites, Cadmonites, Hittites, Perizzites, Rephaites, Amorites, Canaanites, Girgashites, and Jebusites." Guys, for someone who I don't think I have like dyslexia, but like sometimes I see these letters and it's just like when there's like a bunch of them, I start like trying to like mix them. I don't know. I definitely don't have dyslexia, but sometimes I feel like I do. Um Thank you guys. Thank you. Um yeah, probably not. I don't think they like when you read the Bible on Twitch, to be honest. I'm pretty sure I saw something that said they're not like they discourage it or something. But it's okay. Um like not even reading the Bible, like even talking about God. I saw something that said like Phantom talks about God or something and they tell him not to. I don't know. Maybe it was just a clickbait video, but I saw a video that was saying that and I was like, that's kind of strange. Um but yeah, we're just trying to learn. This is just educational. We're trying to learn together. So if you want to learn, you can learn with me. Yeah, this is my first time reading it. I've never read this before. And like I said, I've always believed in God. I just never had a like I never read any religious text or anything, so we're just trying to learn and I don't know if I'll read just this. Maybe I'll read other religious texts as well. Um but yeah, I'm just trying to learn things. Um okay, we're going to do we're gonna do 4 more pages. No, 3 more pages, 3 more pages, 3 more pages. Um, Hagar and Ishmael. Now Sarai, Abram's wife, had borne him no children, but she had an Egyptian slave named Hagar. So she said to Abram, "The Lord has kept me from having children. Go sleep with my slave. Perhaps I can build a family through her." Guys, I'm so confused. I thought all of these things were like aren't I don't know how to say this right, but aren't all these things that they said are not like good? Like I feel like whenever I hear people talking about like what you should and shouldn't do, like you shouldn't have your wife sleep with other men and like you shouldn't have your husband sleep with other girls, like why is this okay? Why is this okay in this book but not okay now? Obviously I don't think it's okay now, but myself, but I'm just curious, like why is it okay here? Does that make sense what I'm asking? This is building to one of the first big moments in the Bible. Okay. I'm so serious, guys. If you come in being rude, like if you come in being disrespectful, I'm going to block you. You do not have to be here. You don't have to be here. I'm trying to learn. If you want to learn with me, you can learn with me, but you don't need to be rude. Like you really don't. I'm trying to learn. So you can either learn with me or you don't have to be here. You know what I mean? It's really easy. You'll see the further you keep reading the Bible. Okay. Okay, let's keep reading. You'll see a lot of stories in the Old Testament that will make you ask a lot of questions in these first 5 books. So are these like multiple books put together then, Ubidi? These are like is Genesis like, so there's different names at the top of this. They have Genesis, Exodus, Numbers, Joshua, Samuel. Like, so are those all different books? Yes, they're different accounts. Oh. So how does that work? So accounts from like those are the actual, so did each of these people write these sections? Is these books named after the people that wrote them? What's your favorite verse? I don't know. I really haven't read that much yet. I'm not that far in. I just started. Different perspectives. Okay. Yes, they are from the pen. What is that? Pentateuch. Pentateuch. What is a Pentateuch? 40 on TikTok. So I'm good. 17 in your Twitch. Wait, what? Yeah, the people who write it that have an account on seeing God. Oh, so these are people who have seen God? Okay. It's a Greek term meaning the 5 books. Okay, different. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Abram agreed to what Sarai said. So after Abram had been living in Canaan 10 years, Sarai, his wife, took her Egyptian slave, Hagar, and gave her to her husband to be his wife. He slept with Hagar, and she conceived. Dang. I don't know. I feel like that's messed up. I know that you're saying that this was necessary, but like, kind of feels messed up that that's what happened. When she knew she was pregnant, she began to When she knew she was pregnant, she began to despise her mistress. Then Sarai said to Abram, "You are responsible for the wrong I am suffering. I put my slave in your arms, and now that she knows she is pregnant, she despises me. May the Lord judge between you and me." "Your slave is in your hands," Abram said. "Do with her whatever you think best." Then Sarai mistreated Hagar, so she fled from her. The angel of the Lord found Hagar near a spring in the desert. It was the spring that is beside the road to Shur. And he said, "Hagar, slave of Sarai, where have you come from and where are you going?" Why were they allowed to have slaves? Isn't that wrong? Why are they allowed to have slaves if... I know you're saying that things get better, but like, it kind of seems wrong, no? Yes, and they write the accounts. Oh, well, just wait until you see what happens later with Abram, new name. Yeah, you also have the King James Version. Yes, it is, but remember, women were not seen as important during that time. Wait, so only women were slaves? There was no male slaves? It was just women slaves? I don't know how much I'm liking this so far, guys. I don't know how I feel about this yet. I feel like everything I've read so far is not really that... not things that I would say line with what I think is right or wrong. There were male slaves, but women were either slaves or servants. This feels wrong. I don't know. This feels like it's not good. This feels like wrong. I really hope it gets better because I don't like it so far. I'm running away from my mistress, Sarai, she answered. Then the angel of the Lord told her, "Go back to your mistress and submit to her." Then the angel added, "I will increase your descendants so much that they will be too numerous to count." The angel of the Lord also said to her, "You are now pregnant, and you will give birth to a son. You shall name him Ishmael, for the Lord has heard of your misery. He will be a wild donkey of a man. His hand will be against everyone, and everyone's hand against him, and he will live in hostility toward all his brothers." How is that a positive thing? I also, being held captive was seen as punishment from God. Really? Women were mostly servants. I don't like this so far, guys. I don't like this. This is making me sad. She gave this name to the Lord who spoke to her. "You are the God who sees me," and for she said, "I have now seen the one who sees me." That is why the well was called Bir Lahai Roy. It is still there between Kadesh and Bered. So Hagar bore Abram a son, and Abram gave the name Ishmael to the son she had born. Abram was 86 years old when Hagar bore him Ishmael. The covenant of circumcision. When Abram was 99 years old, the Lord appeared to him and said, "I am God Almighty. Walk before me faithfully and be blameless. Then I will make my covenant between me and you and will greatly increase your numbers." Abram fell face down, and God said to him, "As for me, this is my covenant to you. You will be the father of many nations. No longer will you be called Abram, your name will be Abraham, for I have made you a father of many nations. I will make you very fruitful. I will make nations of you, and kings will come from you. I will establish my covenant as an everlasting covenant between me and you and your descendants after you for the generations to come, to be your God and the God of your descendants after you. The whole land of Canaan, where you now reside as a foreigner, I will give as an everlasting possession to you and your descendants after you, and I will be their God." Then God said to Abram, "As for you, you must keep my covenant, you and your descendants after you for the generations to come. This is my covenant with you and your descendants after you, the covenant, and your descendants after you, the covenant you are to keep. Every male among you shall be circumcised." I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time with this. Because some of the things in here I'm not agreeing with yet. And some of the things in here feel like I don't understand. I just have a hard time I have a hard time believing that God came down and was like, "Hey, you have to be circumcised." I'm just not understand, and I'm starting to get like this, like, I don't know. It's just making me feel strange about God right now, because why did he feel this way about women, and why was he okay with slaves, and why are these things okay? The Old Testament is a tough read. Like, it just feels like whoever wrote Genesis, whoever was the person who said, told about this Genesis part, just feels like they had ulterior motives and were like, "This is what I want people to believe," and they put that out there. Like, that's how I'm feeling so far, and I don't know if maybe I'm not like understanding some things, but like some of this stuff is like really hard for me to believe that, like, if God was supposed to be, this like this, I don't even know, not person, but whatever it is, right? If God was supposed to be this like great being, why is he okay with these things? Like, I'm having a hard time understanding that. The Old Testament is a tough read. You'll see once you get later into the Bible. Proverbs 3:5, changes begin to happen the further you read. Okay, so it gets better, because I'm really like, I'm not sure how I feel right now about this. It's kind of making me not like it and making me not like him, if this is like what he thinks is okay. Wait until you read about God's wrath. Oh God. No pun intended. I'm just a little worried. It's a different time. All right, keep going, I guess. I just feel like, well, aren't you supposed to treat people nice? I don't know. Aren't you supposed to treat people nicely? Isn't everybody supposed to be treated well? Like, treat people how you want to be treated? Like, I don't know. I'm having a hard time. Like, getting behind this, You are to undergo circumcision, and it will be the sign of the covenant between me and you. For the generations to come, every male among you who is 8 days old must be circumcised, including those born in your household or bought with money from a foreigner. Like, I'm just gonna try to keep reading. Those who are not your offspring, whether born in your household or bought with your money, they must be circumcised. My covenant in your flesh is to be everlasting covenant. Any uncircumcised male who has not been circumcised in the flesh will be cut off from his people. He has broken my covenant. Okay, like this is the part, this is what I'm saying. Like, I just doesn't, it's not adding up for me. Also, in Orthodox Christianity, they are not circumcised. But that's still Christianity, and they have a Bible too. So is this just in like the US, like the English version is just like this, or what? I would start with Matthew or Proverbs. The Old Testament is a slow read. Happy Monday, Flea. How you doing? Read the New Testament first. Yeah, because this is really making me not like this. I'm not liking this. Okay, so we got multiple people saying read the New Testament first. Okay. Don't read the New Testament first? Dang. What is the New Testament? Which part is that? The Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. I personally believe should be read in order. Okay, you'll get confused by some things that are mentioned in the New Testament that you haven't read in the Old. Okay. Yes. Okay. Guys, I think I'm gonna go in order because I'm getting some feedback that order is the best way. So I guess I just have to get through this part of not liking what God is saying in these parts. So far I'm really not. Me and God are not connecting so far. I'm not liking the things that he's saying in these first parts. I feel like a lot of these things are kind of wrong. Like, it's not very nice. I'm hoping that I start to get more in line with what is being. How long is this? How long is Genesis? $67 pages. I got 60 more pages, guys. Were you raised in church? I was not. It's like reading a book. You don't skip to the good part. It shows you the character of Jesus and the new covenant that are now under. That's what I did first. Oh, okay. Jesus doesn't happen without understanding God in the Old Testament. So Jesus and God are two different things, right? So Jesus is the Son of God, right? Is that correct? So why do we not like Jesus more than we like God? Because right now I'm liking Jesus more than I like God. Is that like the moral of the story? Are we supposed to like him more? The best way for me was to read Genesis, the Gospels first, and I went back to read the Old Testament. It can take you years before you really understand. Well, it's according to how you see it. Like my mother always told me, you'll probably read the Bible multiple times. Jesus is God in the flesh. It's the story of the Trinity. Yes, that fellow. 1 and 3 and 3 and 1. God is Jesus and Jesus is God. Okay. Majority of stuff you read will be very specific to the time period. Okay. Right now I'm not really liking God as much. I'm gonna be honest, guys. He's doing things that I don't think are nice things to do to people. But I'm gonna keep trying to read it. But yeah, like I said, some of the stuff that I'm reading so far I'm not really liking. It's kind of mean. God is the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. So they're all of them. Okay. Let me keep reading. God also said to Abram, as for Sarai, your wife, you are no longer to call her Sarai. Her name will be Sarah. I will bless her and will surely give you a son by her. I will bless her so that she will be the mother of nations. Kings of peoples will come from her. Abram fell face down. He laughed and said to himself, will a son be born to a man 100 years old? will Sarah bear a child at the age of 90? And Abram said to God, if only Ishmael might live under your blessing. Then God said, yes, but your wife Sarah will bear you a son, and you will call him Isaac. I will establish my covenant with him as an everlasting covenant for his descendants after him. And as for Ishmael, I have heard you. I will surely bless him. I will make him fruitful and will greatly increase his numbers. He will be the father of 12 rulers, and I will make him into a great nation. But my covenant I will establish with Isaac, whom Sarah will bear to you by this time next year. When he had finished speaking with Abram, God went up from him. On that very day, Abraham. On that very day, Abraham took his son Ishmael and all those born in his household, or bought with his money every male in his household, and circumcised them, as God told him. Abraham was 99 years old when he was circumcised, and his son Ishmael was 13. Abraham and his sons Ishmael were both circumcised on that very day, and every male in Abraham's household, including those born in his household or bought from a foreigner, was circumcised with him. Yeah, I have a really hard time understanding that, because there are other sects of Christianity that don't do that. So why is it only in this one? You know what I mean? I'm having a hard time with this. I'm having a hard time. Just keep reading from front to back. Machete stuff. First time will confuse the heck out of you. Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of people saying that I should read a different one first, but I do think I should try to read from front to back. I'm gonna try my best. I'm really struggling just being on the same page as him right now, or whoever wrote this with the Bible right now. But yeah, I'm gonna try to read it in order and see what I think as I go. Keep in mind, God in the Old Testament was dealing with cavemen that completely disregarded him. Okay, what you're reading in the Old Testament is the Old Testament. God does not want us to live by that anymore. Okay, but why did he allow? Why did he allow it? Why didn't he be like, oh, don't have slaves? Why didn't he do that? He said you have to be circumcised. So at least in this book, so why didn't he say don't have slaves? I was a little confused when it came to certain things, but I got the general understanding. That makes sense. You'll see later, I promise you. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading, guys. I'm gonna keep reading. The Lord appeared. So the three visitors. The Lord appeared to Abraham. I want to keep saying Abram because he was called Abram before. The Lord appeared to Abraham near the great trees of Mamre, while he was sitting at the entrance of his tent in the heat of the day. Abraham looked up and saw 3 men standing nearby. When he saw them, he hurried from the entrance of his tent to meet them and bowed low to the ground. He said, If I have found favor in your eyes, my Lord, do not pass your servants by. Let a little water be brought, and then you may all wash your feet and rest under this tree. Let me get you something to eat so you can be refreshed and then go on your way, now that you have come to your servant. Very well, they answered, do as you say. So Abraham hurried into the tent to Sarah. Quick, he said, get 3 seahs of the finest flour and knead it and bake some bread. Then he ran to the herd and selected a choice tender calf and gave it to a servant who hurried to prepare it. He then brought some curds and milk and the calf that had been prepared and set these before them. While they ate, he stood near them under a tree. Where is your wife Sarah? They asked him. There in the tent, he said. Then one of them said, I will surely return to you about this time next year, and Sarah your wife will have a son. Now Sarah was listening at the entrance of the tent, which was behind Abraham, and Sarah were which was behind him. Abraham and Sarah were already very old, and Sarah was past the age of childbearing. So Sarah laughed to herself as she thought, after I am worn out and my Lord is old, will I now have this pleasure? Then the Lord said to Abraham, why did Sarah laugh and say, will I really have a child now that I am old? Is anything too hard for the Lord? I will return to you at the appointed time next year, and Sarah will have a son. Sarah was afraid, so she lied and said, I did not laugh. But he said, yes, you did laugh. Dang, so she's not going to have a son anymore? Abraham pleads for Saddam. I forgot how you said it again. Saddam. When the men got up to leave, they looked down towards Sodom, and Abraham walked along with them to see them on their way. Then the Lord said, shall I hide from Abraham what I am about to do? Abraham will surely become a great and powerful nation, and all nations on earth will be blessed through him. For I have chosen him so that he will direct his children and his household after him to keep the way of the Lord by doing what is right and just, so that the Lord will bring about for Abraham what he has promised him. Then the Lord said, the outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is so great, and their sin so grievous, that I will go down and see if what they have done is as bad as the outcry that has reached me. If not, I will know. The men turned away and went towards Sodom, but Abraham remained standing before the Lord. Then Abraham approached him and said, will you sweep away the righteous with the wicked? What if there are 50 righteous people in the city? Will you really sweep it away and not spare the place for the sake of the 50? The place for the sake of the 50 righteous people in it? Far be it from you to do such a thing, to kill the righteous with the wicked, treating the righteous and the wicked alike. Far be it from you. Will not the judge of all the earth do right? So Abraham is like coming at God right now. He's like, no, like, hey, you don't kill the good people too. I have plans to also read the Quran. I just haven't yet. This is my first step. I haven't read the Bible. I would like to read the Bible. Then I will try to read other religious texts as well. So yeah, okay, that makes sense. I'm good, Darius. How are you? Saddam. Okay. There's a moral to the story you're currently reading. Oh, the thing started happening really loud just outside. Okay. The Lord said, if I find 50 righteous people in the city of Sodom, I will spare the whole place for their sake. Then Abraham spoke up again. Now that I have been so bold as to speak to the Lord, though I am nothing but dust and ashes, what if the number of the righteous is 5 less than 50? Will you destroy the whole city for lack of 5 people? If I find 45 there, he said, I will not destroy it. Once again he spoke to him. What if only 40 are found there? He said, for the sake of 40, I will not do it. Then he said, may the Lord not be angry, but let me speak. What if only 30 can be found there? He answered, I will not do it if I find 30 there. Abraham said, now that I have been so bold as to speak to the Lord, what if only 20 can be found there? He said, for the sake of 20, I will not destroy it. Then he said, may the Lord not be angry, but let me speak just once more. What if only 10 can be found there? He answered, for the sake of 10, I will not destroy it. When the Lord had finished speaking with Abraham, he left, and Abraham returned home. So the Lord was saying, like, if as long as there was somebody there who was good, he wasn't going to destroy it. Is that correct? As long as somebody was there that was good, he wouldn't destroy it. Yes, God told him to lock in and find a good soul. Okay. So I get it. Okay. Saddam Sodom, and Gomorrah destroyed. The two angels arrived at Sodom in the evening, and Lot was sitting in the gateway of the city. When he saw them, he got up to meet them and bowed down with his face to the ground. My lords, he said, please turn aside to your servant's house. You can wash your feet and spend the night, and then go on your way early in the morning. No, they answered, we will spend the night in the square. But he insisted so strongly that they did go with him and entered his house. He prepared a meal for them, baking bread without yeast, and they ate. Before they had gone to bed, all the men from every part of the city of Sodom, both young and old, surrounded the house. They called to Lot, where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out to us so we can have. Guys, this is messed up. This is messed up. They called to Lot, where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out to us so that we can have sex with them. I'm not liking this so far. I'm not liking this so far. Lot went outside to meet them and shut the door behind him and said, no, my friends, don't do this wicked thing. Look, I have two daughters who have never slept with a man. Let me bring them out to you, and you can do what you like with them. But don't do anything to these men, for they have come under the protection of my roof. Get out of our way, they replied. This fellow came here as a foreigner, and now he wants to play the judge. We'll treat you worse than them. They kept bringing pressure on Lot and moved forward to break down the door. But the men inside reached out and pulled Lot back into the house and shut the door. Then they struck the men who were at the door of the house, young and old, with blindness, so they could not find the door. Why did they do that? But why did he offer his daughters? Why would he offer his daughters? I don't like this so far, guys. I don't like this. I really hope it gets better. I don't like it so far. The two men said to Lot, do you have anyone else here? Sons-in-law, sons or daughters, or anyone else in the city who belongs to you? Get them out of here, because we are going to destroy this place. The outcry to the Lord against his people is so great that he has sent us to destroy it. So Lot went out and spoke to his sons-in-law, who were pledged to marry his daughters. He said, hurry and get out of this place, because the Lord is about to destroy the city. But his sons-in-law thought he was joking. With the coming of dawn, the angels urged Lot, saying, hurry, take your wife and your two daughters who are here, or you will be swept away with when the city is punished. When he hesitated, the men grasped his hand and the hands of his wife and his two daughters, and led them safely out of the city, for the Lord was merciful to them. As soon as they had brought them out, one of them said, flee for your lives, don't look back, and don't stop anywhere in the plain. Flee to the mountains, or you will be swept away. But Lot said to them, no, my lords, please, your servant has found favor in your eyes, and you have shown great kindness to me in sparing my life, but I can't flee to the mountains. This disaster will overtake me, and I'll die. Look, here is a town near enough to run to, and it is small. Let me flee to it. It is very small, isn't it? Then my life will be spared. He said to him, very well, I will grant this request too. I will not overthrow the town you speak of, but flee there quickly, because I cannot do anything until you reach it. That is why the town was called Zor. By the time Lot reached Zor, the sun had risen over the land. Then the Lord rained down burning sulfur on Sodom and Gomorrah from the Lord out of the heavens. Thus he overthrew those cities and the entire plain, destroying all those living in the cities, and also the vegetation in the land. But Lot's wife looked back, and she became a pillar of salt. Early the next morning, Abraham got up and returned to the place where he had stood before the Lord. He looked down toward Sodom and Gomorrah, toward all the lands of the plain, and he saw dense smoke rising from the land, like smoke from a furnace. So when God destroyed the cities of the plain, he remembered Abraham, and he brought Lot out of the catastrophe that overthrew the cities where Lot had lived. Lot and his daughters. He clearly doesn't care about his daughters, so it's like Handmaid's Tale. Zoar. Part of reading the Bible or any old text is also understanding the time period that they were in. I get it, but at the same time, I don't know. I just think that, like, I just think that a lot of things are not. I don't know how to say this. I just feel like people should always treat people well. And so it makes me sad that there was even a time, and that there still may be a time now, where people still don't treat people well. I personally think that you should treat people how you want to be treated, no matter what. If you don't want something done to you, you should not do it to others. Like, that is like the one thing that I fully believe in. So yeah, it kind of makes me feel weird reading like this, because it makes me feel like, wow, why would I always thought that the Bible was supposed to be this like text where it was like, be a great person, you know, and like now I'm reading it and I'm like, that doesn't seem like what this is saying, you know? That's why I'm kind of like thrown off right now. So I always had this like perception, and now I'm like, is this not what it's been the whole time? Like, is this not what people have been reading? And now it kind of makes sense a little bit why certain people, even though they're religious, why they maybe aren't the greatest people. Like, now it's kind of clicking. Like, what if the Bible isn't saying the things that I thought it said, you know? Like, that's why I'm a little bit thrown off right now. So I'm a little bit thrown off. I just don't fully understand. But I'm trying to still read through it and see if it'll get better, I guess. But so far, I don't know if I agree with some of these things, you know? When you get to Exodus, you'll see where the change takes place. Okay, Exodus, Numbers. The thing is, if you read the New Testament, you will see the new covenant we are under. Okay, a ton of people cherry pick the Bible when it is meant for interpretation. That makes sense. Love you too, guys. Love you too. But people, even religious people, don't all the time. God wants us to love everybody, but people, even religious people, don't all the time. So if he wants us to love everybody, why he got slaves in here? Why was he okay with slaves? I don't understand. Like, why is that okay? Sorry guys, I'm trying to fix my chair. I'm stuck. Alright. We're gonna stop here, guys. We're gonna stop here for today. Like I said, we're just trying to read like 10 minutes a day. It's been more than 10 minutes. It's been more than 10 minutes, but it's okay. We're gonna try to read like 10 minutes a day of that, and yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed. You'll see the further you keep reading. Okay, I'm trusting you. Yeah, so we're gonna get off for now. I'm about to go to the gym. Yeah, I'm about to go to the gym. And I will probably not be on here again today, but maybe. You never know. At this point, I might just be jumping on whenever. But yeah, I probably won't today, but if not, I'll see you guys tomorrow. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.